Hello, Arkansas gymnastics fans, and welcome to the Four Star Sports Show, where we bring you more Arkansas gymnastics coverage. Tonight, we've got the sensational sophomore, Miss Cami Weaver, has joined us. Cami, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So, Cami, obviously, right now in Fayetteville, Arkansas, we've had snow on the ground for what feels like a month now. The temperatures
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not built for this kind of weather, just to be brutally
No.
honest with you. But I tell you what, the gymnastics season is heating up, and between your first meet at home and then, last weekend, just as we get started, what is it about this Arkansas gymnastics program that just trends in the right direction?
Gosh, our team is, I don't even know how to explain them. We're fun. We love each other. We're all committed to the same goal. We set the standard at the beginning of the year, and not one person's fallen out of line from it. We're all committed in the gym. We're all committed outside of the gym. And I think all of that factors into it. And especially having such close relationships with each other, that's really rare on a gymnastics team, especially in college athletics. Having that special connection with everybody is really important. And I think that is what has gotten us to such a high point right now.
So, Cami, when you obviously you're not from Fayetteville, Arkansas. That's how college
Mm-mm.
athletics works. You travel to go where you're going to school. You are from Pelham, Alabama. Am I
Yes.
pronouncing that correctly? Is it Pelham?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know. I mean, I'm in the transportation world, so I've learned some cities. But from Pelham, Alabama, and Legacy Gymnastics down there. Uh, Tell us a little bit about not only your hometown of Pelham, but what makes not only that your home, but also what makes Fayetteville your home.
So yeah, I'm from right outside of Birmingham, Alabama, right in the middle. I love Alabama. I grew up there. I never moved. Same house my whole life. I think coming to Fayetteville, reminds me a lot of Alabama. It's very, especially Fayetteville, it's like a town area. I grew up in kind of the suburb area, and this, like, having this college town and having such like nice things around it is really awesome because I visited a bunch of schools, and like a lot of factored into it was what was around it. And Arkansas is beautiful. I love it. Fayetteville has been very warming up to me. I think living here has been, we definitely get all four seasons, and that is something that we did not get in Alabama, I will say. I mean, we really just get hot and cold. But Arkansas, you get all of it, and I love that about this state. And I think another important thing about Fayetteville is that the people are so loving, and it reminds me a lot of home too, because Southern hospitality, can't beat it. I love being around people like that, and just coming here and having that and knowing that the people are similar and the place is similar, and it just made it really easy for me to fit in. So
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, Fayetteville is a very welcoming city, and I
mhm.
find it very refreshing. Is the way I've
Yes.
described it for the almost 2 years I've been here now. Speaking of Alabama, whenever I say Alabama, I just revert back to Forrest Gump yelling Greenbow, Alabama. I'm sorry, but speaking of Alabama, you went back home in a sense, and
Yep.
you had a record night as a program. Talk a little bit about the record night in Tuscaloosa, but also you had a really good night. You started it out on vault with a 9.8. I mean, you already know what you scored, but you started out on vault with a 9.875, and then on beams, which I don't know how y'all do that, but that's a whole other podcast. 9.825 on beams, but
Mhm.
from a program standpoint, talk about the night in Tuscaloosa and just what it meant, and then from a personal standpoint.
Um, as a team, it meant the absolute world to go put that score up at a road meet. I think that's a really difficult challenge for any team, but showing that we went out there and did that is a confidence booster going into any other away meet now. So, like, we have that under our belt, and we have all the confidence in the world that we can do it again, if not better. We were very together as a team. Sometimes getting distracted, like looking at the scoreboards or looking at the other team, it gets into our heads. But this year, we've really focused on staying in our bubble and staying conjoined as a team. And I think that's really helped us because when you're not worried about anything else and you're only worried about each other, that's when we do our best and that's when we have the most fun. And I think that's really impacted us, and we've gotten really well. We've done really well with that for the first 2 meets of the year. So hopefully we can continue that. And from a personal standpoint, it was definitely a blast going back to Alabama. A lot of my family was there. A lot of my friends were there. I did grow up an Alabama fan, so it was definitely weird hearing all the chanting and all the stuff and not being able to sing along. But I love Arkansas. I wouldn't trade anything going to this college for the world. But it was definitely really fun going back to Bama, and I enjoyed it a lot. And the girls were really sweet there. They were very welcoming. That's always fun when you have a team that is equally as excited and friendly and just treated us with respect. So that was really awesome.
You know, when you look at last season against Alabama, it was another really close night, opening night last season at home. And everything was good except for the bars. And when you look at that specific rotation so far this season, Arkansas is tearing it up. I mean, I'm not trying to jinx anything. Please don't tell Coach, but Arkansas is tearing it up right now. There seems to be a renewed focus in everyone, including the woman we're getting ready to talk about next, and Coach Weaver. There's something about everyone's locked in right now. You can just see it. You can feel it. What is it about that bar rotation that has just made y'all want to take it to the next level this year?
Well, at the beginning of the season, we made a vision board for this year, and that's the first time we've done that. But we really focused on being a 4-event team, because last year we would get to that one event or end on beam at an away meet and we would just kind of crumble. And this year we really focused on our consistency, and being a 4-event team has been kind of one of our more like top goals. And I think so far we've shown that we are, and just applying our consistency in practice and relying on each other as a team. We kind of cranked up our numbers during preseason. So I think that has a lot to do with our consistency. And although it was hard in the moment, it was definitely worth it. And it's definitely showing right now. So, that being a 4-event team is one of our biggest goals right now. So I think we're doing really well with that.
Oh, I definitely think so. And I mean, just, and of course, prior to just a few years ago, I didn't know anything about gymnastics. I'm not saying I'm a pro at it now, but I've learned a lot. And that all around term is very important. And I mean, it's something that as a gymnast, I feel like you strive to do every season. Getting ready to talk about Coach Jordan Weaver. Does she kind of give you free reign to be like, hey, you know, if you want to try all around, we'll let you do it? Is that kind of how she operates with that?
So when you come in as a freshman, you kind of have most everybody trains all 4 events. And the only reason people don't is either medical reasons or like over time, it's just not your event, or, you know, we have a lot of meetings with her about stuff like that. It's very personal. So communicating with her and doing all that. See, I train all 4 events. I don't compete all 4. Obviously that's a goal, but having an injury my freshman year kind of held me back on bars and floor, but I'm working my way back into those lineups. So hopefully you'll get to see me on those this year. But she works with you. She's very great with communication. She will never let you do something she does not think you're capable of. She is a great coach in that aspect. I trust her. We all trust her. So that's never been anything that's been second guessed before, but yeah.
So when you look at Coach Jordan Weaver and you look at just her, just talent. I mean, pure talent is really how I describe it. But when you watch her at the meet, just her demeanor is just this. It comes across as a prepared yet confident demeanor.
Yes.
Is that pretty accurate when I describe her?
Yes.
It just seems very. I don't want to use the word cocky because I don't think it's cockiness. It's just confidence in. Not only am I ready, but my team's ready. But when you look at her specifically and you look at this program that you've now been in for a couple years, how does she continue to grow this program year in, year out, and then continue to keep the continuity that she keeps?
Yeah, that term we use for her is a classy swagger. We always like to walk in the meets because we want to have the confidence, but, we got to stay respectful and classy and be mindful of the other team that's in the arena with us. But how she grows the program every year, she goes the extra mile every year. We like I said, in preseason, we cranked up the numbers and we cranked up the conditioning. This is probably the strongest team I've ever been a part of. She is very willing to try new things, and she is very she wants to get to know everybody personally so that she can help everybody personally. She's a very, like I said, really great on communication. She cares about each of her athletes a lot. In the gym, she likes to have fun with us because she knows if she's having fun, we're having fun. Obviously, everyone is contagious. And so when the coaches are in a good mood, it makes us want to do even better. So she's fully understood that and taken that in. And I think this season, she has just radiated more joy and radiated more happiness. And every Tuesday, we do a thing called Gratitude Tuesday, and we take a minute and either it's write a card to somebody or turn to the person to the left in the circle and say something that you're grateful for about them. And I think we hold gratitude very highly in our values in our program. And I think that has created an even better culture to be a part of. And especially when you're just grateful for everyone you're around every day, it kind of puts things into perspective. And because we don't have to be in there every day, we choose to be, and being surrounded by such positive and fun people, especially fun coaches and positive coaches, that has a really big impact on the program. And obviously she's recruiting amazing gymnasts coming in. We are all super involved on the visits because when I was getting recruited, it was a lot about what the team had to say and how involved the team was. And so us getting involved on those recruiting visits are helping us get the better athletes too, and us being able to communicate with them. We don't hold anything back. We're not hiding anything about the program. We're sharing all of the good information, and they see the practice. They know what we're like, and I don't think we've ever faked anything. We're a very fun, outgoing team, and we have a lot of fun in the gym, and I think that's why we are the way that we are, because we know that's how we thrive. And so she has taken that in too, and that's how she thrives now. So it kind of just balances out, but she's definitely going to take this program to great places.
So we've learned a little bit about Arkansas gymnastics. Now let's learn a little bit about who Cami Weaver is. Okay. So if you could describe Cami Weaver in 5 years to yourself, how would you do that?
In 5 years? In the future?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hopefully in OT school, graduated from OT school. I absolutely love helping people. I love medicine. It's something that's interested me for a while. Specifically kids. I love helping kids. We have summer camps, and I am the first one to sign up every time. I love working with kids. I coached a little bit at my gym when I was growing up. I absolutely love helping people, and I've just always wanted to do something like that in a career. I'm still a little bit in the open of what I want to do because I still have a few years left, but hopefully something with medicine, something with helping people. That's just kind of been my passion since I was a kid. So.
All right. Wow. What an answer. All right. So if someone was to ask, what is your why in life? What would that be?
Definitely to serve the Lord. I've been a Christian my whole life. I think having that and being inspiring in that aspect as a student athlete, especially a college athlete, that's kind of rare these days. So spreading my Christianity, just spreading that as much as I can. Luckily, everyone who I live with, our team is very in on that. We also have FCA here at Arkansas, and that's been a really great guide for a lot of student athletes because it can get stressful and it can get crazy, but that's something I can always rely back on. And obviously being a good daughter to both my parents, a sister, I have two brothers, just being a good family member and obviously being a good friend. I'm kind of the friend that people can rely on for advice, and I'm always the one that can make everybody laugh. So I love being that role in any room that I'm in, knowing that I can make somebody laugh or smile or make their day is just kind of what fuels my fire. And I'm definitely the teammate that is the loudest. So if you've seen me on the sideline either screaming or jumping up and down, that is what kind of person that I love being and will continue to be probably in my career one day too.
So you just spoke about your strong faith. Mm-hmm. When you look at faith and you look at being not just a student athlete, but a student athlete at a top level gymnastics program, it's very similar to golf and gymnastics, where it's like each shot is very important. Each step is very
Yes.
important in gymnastics. How do you use your faith, not just as a person, but as a teammate of others to encourage and to keep a positive attitude?
Yeah. So every meet day, well, really every day, I do a little devotional, and we have, as a team, have talked about doing. In previous years, we've done Bible study after every Sunday practice, and obviously, since our schedule's been changing and like the weather and stuff, we haven't figured out a set date for this year yet. But usually, before every meet, we always pray. We've had the kind of discussion each year with different people coming in if we wanted to continue doing that, but that was a new question this year. So my teammate Emma always leads the prayer. She's also one of the people who's inspired me to stay strong in my faith. She is very on top of it, and she has been one of my rocks in college. When it gets hard and it's not as consistent as it could be, but she's always there to tell me. So she's a very verbal and inspiring teammate with stuff like that, and I feel like I could definitely do better with it. But with my Christianity, I feel like just praying before each meet and praying before each practice for safety for all of my teammates, I feel like that has been a priority for me since I got here. So yeah.
All right. Just a couple more questions for you, and then we'll let you get out of here. So, when it comes to Cami Weaver and it comes to the University of Arkansas, what is something that the people of the nation may not know about Fayetteville, Arkansas, that you would want to tell them if you were to sell them on coming to visit Fayetteville?
I would just say it's absolutely beautiful. Not a lot of people know about, like, especially coming from Alabama, nobody really considers Arkansas in the equation for college. And I would tell people in Alabama, it's the perfect mix of Alabama and Auburn combined. It's like the town of Auburn, the beautiful like brick buildings, but it's also like as big, I would say, as Tuscaloosa, because there's a lot of stuff to do. I feel like coming here, I think one of my favorite things is that Arkansas is the only school in the state. So there's just absolutely no way that you're not an Arkansas Razorback fan. Like, we have an awesome fan base, and everyone loves Arkansas when you're here. So I think that would be the one thing to sell me for sure.
Cami Weaver has joined us tonight right here on the 4-Star Sports Radio Network. Cami, before we let you get out of here, we got to give you a chance to promote yourself, right? That's part of the reason you're here. So how do we follow you? How do we keep up with you on X, Twitter, Tweeter, whatever it's called now? Just shout us out your links.
On Twitter, my link is Cami Lee Weaver. And then Instagram is probably another big one that I use. It's Cam Weave with like 3 V's. But those are really the main two that I use. Not a big Facebook girl, I guess, but those two, yeah, definitely follow me on those if you want to keep up with me in Arkansas.
Most definitely. Well, Cami Weaver, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We talked a little bit of home. We've talked a little bit of Razorback gymnastics. And of course, we talked a little about who you are. Thank you very much for your time and your availability. And we hope to not only get you back on, but get some more content built on you as well.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, that'll be it for tonight. But once again, stay tuned for more Arkansas gymnastics coverage right there at 4star.live, our incredible website.